Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I will be going over how to decide what to spend your special UR ticket on as a part of the VRAINS Ace Monster gift campaign that as of this recording launches tomorrow on January 23rd. There's a choice between 7 different Ace Monsters, one for each character currently in the VRAINS world. Those are Firewall Dragon, Salamangreat Heat Leo, Goki the Great Ogre, Trickstar Holly Angel, Warlord Dragon, Altergeist Prima Banshee, and Sanavalon Dryatrenchier, each in Prismatic foil rarity. The first thing you want to look at is how many copies of each card you already have. If you don't own any copies of any of the 7 cards, I would recommend Firewall Dragon, Warlord Dragon, or Sanavalon Dryatrenchier. This is because these boss monsters are currently the most relevant of them all in the meta. Firewall Dragon is played in Dark Fluid, Warlord Dragon is played in Borrelink, and Sanavalon Dryatrenchier is played in Sanavalon respectively. Salamangreat Goki, Trickstar, and Altergeist haven't been relevant in years, and Goki and Altergeist don't even use their ace monsters in most builds. It's worth noting that the event launching alongside this campaign on January 23rd is also a soul burner event of some kind and may make Salamangreat a relevant deck again. In that case, you would want to be playing 2 or 3 copies of it to use the field spell since Heat Leo gains an effect when using another Heat Leo to summon it. Out of all the ace monsters, Heat Leo is the only one you would actually play multiple copies of in your deck as well. Some monsters can be played in decks outside their own archetype, such as Borrelode and Dragon Maids for instance. So if you're looking for one of these cards to fit into another deck you're playing that's completely different from its own archetype, the decision is easy to make. If you have a copy of all these cards except for one, the choice is also easy to make. However, there are alternate arts to consider. Your game may say you don't have a copy of Firewall Dragon when you click on the card, or that you only have one copy for instance, but there are several alternative art variations you may have picked up along the way that it's not showing. Firewall Dragon has 3 art variations. While I don't have any of the original art, I have one from the 2nd anniversary box and one from the WCS anniversary box, meaning I could potentially play 2 copies of Firewall Dragon already in my deck. Almost all decks will only really need one though. Other ace monsters that have alternate art are Goki the Great Ogre, Trickstar Holly Angel, and Borrelode Dragon. Make sure to check which ones you already have alternate art of before making your decision. The most important thing I want to consider is the cost in gems it would take to purchase the card if you don't have the UR ticket, and I will go over exactly how much each one costs in order. Firewall Dragon is the most expensive UR of all 7 besides Prima Banshee. It's obtained from the main box Future Circuit, which contains 180 packs. Worst case scenario, you will be spending 9,000 gems just for this one card. Salamangreat Heat Leo is a UR obtained from the main box Link Revolution, and is slightly less expensive than Firewall at 8,850 gems worst case scenario. Since this is the only card that needs to be played at 2 to 3 copies, it may be the best choice to spend your ticket on for the cost of all 7. Goki the Great Ogre is unlike the other cards because its rarity is 1 lower at SR instead of UR. It's found in the same box as Heat Leo, Link Revolution, and there are 2 copies of it in the box, meaning it will be easier to pull. If you're pulling for Heat Leo, you might come across this one along the way anyway, making this the least expensive and probably the poorest choice to spend your ticket on. The worst case scenario cost again is 8,850 gems, but since there are 2 of them in the box, it's more likely you'll spend about half as much at 4,425 gems. Trickstar Holly Angel is obtained from the mini box stage of Trickstar. It would only cost worst case scenario 4,900 gems. Borrelode Dragons from the mini box Lord of Borrel and would cost worst case scenario 5,000 gems. Altergeist Prima Banshee is another UR from the main box Deep Emotion, and is the most expensive and only card alongside Firewall Dragon that would cost 9,000 gems worst case scenario. Finally, Sanavalon Dryatrenchier is the only SR alongside Goki the Great Ogre. It's found in the recent main box Boral Sword Slash, which also contains 180 packs. Since it's an SR and there are 2 of them in the box, worst case scenario is it will be as expensive as Firewall Dragon and Prima Banshee at 9,000 gems, but realistically it will only cost half that much to obtain, around 4,500 gems. One thing to note is that you may want to dig into a box that one of these cards is from for something else besides the ticket card, in which case you would want to avoid spending your ticket on that card. I'll quickly go over what I think might be important pulls from these respective boxes that you may be interested in and that you should be aware of to make the most of your ticket choice. In order from newest box to oldest, Sonavalon Dry Trenchier is in the main box Boral Sword Slash, and so are many cards you may be interested in. Besides all the Sonavalon cards, if you're building a Boral Link deck, you're going to be going through this box for Boral Sword Dragon, Double Disruptor Dragon, and Borreload Riot Dragon. While Infernoble Knights have fallen off in popularity a little bit, their cards are found here as well. An archetype that terrorized the meta upon release, Agents are here, and you're going to be going through this box more than once for the Agent of Life Jupiter. Traptrix has some monsters here as well. If you're interested in any of these archetypes, consider spending your ticket on a monster other than Sonavalon Dry Trenchier. The main box Deep Emotion contains Altergeist Prima Banshee and many Altergeist monsters, but it also contains so many valuable cards to this game right now, especially the staples. There's Effect Veiler, there's Mind Control, there's Paleozoic Dynamiscus, Clock Wyvern is here, and so is probably the most popular choice of kaiju, Radian the Multi-Dimensional Kaiju. You've got your base cards for Evil Twin here, and you've got one of the most important and popular cards in the format right now, Elemental Hero Neos Kluger. The chances of going through this box are so high that I would seriously consider spending your ticket on another monster besides Prima Banshee, because the fact is that you will likely get this card through a pull in this box anyway. If you're going for Borreload Dragon, Lord of Boral mainly just contains Rocket and Maldoke cards. You're likely only going into this box to get the Rocket monsters needed for Boral Link. If you're going for Firewall Dragon, consider that the box he's from, Future Circuit, contains a lot of staples, and that you're very likely to run through this box at some point down the line anyway. Both Nightmare Unicorn and Nightmare Phoenix are here for starters, but you also have Bottomless Trap Hole and Dark Hole in here as well. Droll and Lockbird is a hand trap every duelist will want to have at some point, and there's also the Cosmo archetype in here and one-time passcode for FTKs. If you're interested in any of these, I'd advise not to spend your ticket on Firewall Dragon. The box Trickstar Hall Angel is from, Trickstar Light Stage, was not received very well on release and continues not to have much to offer. There are no important staples, and unless you're building a Trickstar deck, it's very unlikely you'll ever dig through this box. As I said before, Salaman Great Heatleo and Goki the Great Ogre are in the same box, Link Revolution. The cards used in Dark Fluid, such as Decode Talker, Cynet Mining, and Lady Debug, are here as well. Apprentice Illusion Magician and Eternal Soul for Dark Magician players are here, as well as most of the Salaman Great cards and staples such as Pot of Duality, Warning Point, and Brute Enforcer are also in this box. This box is unlike the others because even if you spend your ticket on Heatleo, you will still get value out of this box for multiple copies. None of these boxes will have the half off 25 gems per pack sale until September this year, when Link Revolution will be the first to have that opportunity. None of the 7 cards are available through Legendary Duelist drops or box chips yet either. They're all only available through campaigns such as this and hard purchasing them through their respective boxes. In conclusion, Salaman Great Heatleo is the obvious best choice in most instances. It's the only card out of the 7 that runs multiple copies, and with the Soul Burner event coming out tomorrow, it's more than likely it will see immediately play and become a top contender in the coming meta. With that said, I hope this video was helpful in making your choice for this campaign's special UR ticket, and I thank you for watching.